Robbie, can you make a video on the top 5 decks for this month? Because I really am confused about the metagame, is what I found myself in my inbox this week. So we're going to answer that question about what the heck is going on in the format. What are the 5 best decks that you're going to encounter at an event, especially going into future events going the next month or so, because we're right around the corner for WCQ. So let's dig on into top 5 decks for May 2019, shall we? Alright, number 1 on our list is actually Sky Striker, and this should come to no shocker for you guys here. I would almost say that this is the best deck. Man, we're blowing our load with the best deck right off the bat. So you've got 2 variants here, and I say this very weirdly because I think I've only seen not Mystic Mind Striker top twice in the last literal 2 weeks here, and that's very high. But the build that we've kind of come to know and see more of in today's format literally is just Mystic Mind. Like, you've got builds that are playing Metaverse to put it on the field. You've got builds that aren't playing Metaverse to draw it, which is really weird. Or Terraforming for. I don't know what's going on in terms of ratios for Mystic Mind versus Metaverse. That's strictly player preference. But what you have, the power of Sky Striker. Oh, well, Robbie, Kagari being limited actually hurt the deck, and you're stupid for saying it's the best deck. Numbers don't lie, friends. Like, every event I've seen so far, there's been a very large amount of Sky Striker rolling around in Top Cut. And you can just outright say that I'm wrong, and that's fine. But what we've reached at this point is consistency is pushing the deck. Players believe that this is the best deck. We have a thunderstorm in the background. It's really cheeky, and I love it. But you have a very consistent deck that really pushes the boundaries of the format. Widow Anchor, multi-role, all fantastic cards to counteract anything that you're trying to do in the current format. And yeah, it's honestly one of the best decks in today's format. What are you going to do about it? Nothing. Nothing changes. You know, the big 5 kind of stay the big 5. So, number 1. Number 2 is Orcust. And this one's very vague because this also kind of encompasses the builds that want to play Orcust. But for all intents and purposes, I'm going to talk more about the pure build. The pure build is usually something playing Neospatian Connector and some sort of toolboxy engine to kind of tutor things. I know it kind of sounds very vague, but basically the whole thing, Orcust shouldn't even be its own deck. It's literally 2 monsters, slam them together, make Phoenix or Cerberus, then you go into Mermaid. All right, then you start your entire combo from there. You know, and that's kind of where we pull in the other archetypes that have fantastic ways of putting 2 monsters together. You know, you had Cyber Dragon Orcust, you had ABC Orcust, you probably had 6 Samurai Orcust somewhere along the way. You had Scrap Recycler, you got O-Lions and company. You've got a lot of options available to you as a player playing an Orcust deck in today's format. I think that's really fucking cool, that the level of diversity that this deck has as an engine is able to be played in everything. And I mean, I hate to say it, but splash ability can be a bad thing. Too many options available to the average player can stunt the growth of the format. While, you know, this deck does add a layer of extraness to the format, it sometimes can make players really sad. You know, ending on the same negate 4 board is pretty ridiculous. And, you know, whatever shenanigans that your deck are trying to do. If you're Cyber Dragon Orcust, you're slurping up monsters and starting your combo. So, pretty important, though, to understand that Orcust, as a whole, is I think next to Sky Striker, it's the best engine in the format, just for what you're able to do with it. Come on, any 2 monsters starts an OTK combo? How is that fair? Now, next up, this is pretty bold to me, but this is Salamangreat. So I wanted to put Salamangreat as number 4 on this list, but I believe that there's been more representation for this deck. Here's the downside of Salad right now. Lady Debug actually looks like it hurt the deck. Who would have thought? I guess the consistency of Stratos being hit might have actually done a little bit more damage than we thought. But the deck is still doing very well. The deck still does everything, and I repeat, everything that it did last format. You want to go first, put down 2 negates and things like that, you can do it. But the deck is still very much... It can't sling through large boards going second. I kind of think that's the weird thing about the deck. You're a deck that has such a good going first board that it's actually terrifying. Hand traps, roar, rage are great. But your going second board break potential kind of sucks. I think that's the issue that Salad's struggling with at the moment. You know, you need to be able to win enough dice rolls to make your day go better. And if you're not able to produce those results, then you're not going to be able to break boards. I know Salad can bounce stuff and it can do things, but against the negate 4 board, like, you're not in the best position ever. So Salad, like I said, rides that really weird place at the moment where so many players are playing the deck because it was so cheap and available to them, and the starting the combo is so damn easy, it's ridiculous. Like, fuck it, when your whole deck is free, why not? Right? It's almost as cheesy as slam 2 monsters together the deck. Orcust. So yeah, Salad players, deck is still very well. I'm putting it as number 3 on this list just because deck is still relatively representative. We're just kind of waiting to see where the rest of the format goes. Now, number 4 on this list is actually Combo Thunder. And actually just Thunder as a whole. So Thunder's still doing the same thing Thunder's been doing for the last format. You're going Agripane, you're going Hope Harbinger, and some other stuff. Well, if you've got a prize card, if you've got the Chaos Armageddon, you can actually kind of cheese extend your opponent more, because the Armageddon Dragon can actually special summon itself in the extra deck to the extra monster zone, which allows you to have another monster on the field, which allows you to make another instance of Saruja if you really need to, which also allows you to revive a Lavineer back from your banner zone. You get what I'm saying here? One card makes the whole deck a lot better. And I'm putting the deck on number 4 on this list because, honestly, it's good. Like, just the ending boards that I've seen from it are so good. But the problem with the deck is, if you're playing the Sekis build, if you encounter a Mystic Mind player, you just lose. Like, there's not a lot you can do about it. You literally have to go to game 2, side out your Sekis, and hope that the board that you put on the field is good enough. You know, you do a lot of resource management in that deck, and the issue that we face with it is, you know, once your resource is gone, once you've burned through that extra deck, you don't have a lot left of recursion to go with. But as for a board that really is hard to break this format, it is one of the craziest out there. And I'll give it up for Thunder. Like, your ceiling may have come down a little bit with the previous ban list. You know, that's fine. But you're still able to combo in pretty much the same way that you have been for this format. And you've still got really cheesy plays available to you. So I will give it up for you guys, number 4. Now, number 5 is actually Pendulum. And I had a lot of debate with myself about this and my honorable mention here. So Pendulum's still doing what Pendulum's doing. Endymion really changed the landscape for that deck. And it really, honestly, the Endymion engine just changed Pendulum forever. Between Zephyra, between Pure, between Master, like, all of the combos that you're doing, your ceiling got raised immensely because of the Endymion support. So I'm putting it number 5 strictly for the boards that the deck is able to make. Against the rest of the big 5, the deck really does have a good chance against a good chunk of the meta, and I like that. You know, granted, you can still go second and make boards because your boss monsters are ridiculous. Your whole deck is just high roll boss monsters at that point. So we'll give it up at number 5 for Pendulums. Now, my honorable mention here is actually True Draco, and I had a lot of struggle with this myself, but I think True Draco representation is just kind of going down at this point. True Draco kind of held on for as long as it did. It was the counter when Mystic Mindburn was seeing more play. But our issue with that, much like everything else in the format, is when your main counter matchup's gone, what do? Now True Draco's kind of suffering from the rest of the shenanigans in the metagame, you know. And before you guys go, Robbie, why'd you not mention Altergeist or Trickstars? I don't think that they're top 5 worthy, honestly. Like, you've got a wide amount of decks that you can get your invite with at the moment, but to be in the big 5, you literally have to own a conglomerate and just be friends with Gozaboro Kaiba, because that's how life goes. So guys, those are my top 5 decks for May 2019. Guys, please leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think. I look forward to hearing from you guys. And well guys, I'm out. Peace. The ride never, well, truly ends. Thank you, patrons. Without you guys, I don't know what I'd be wearing in these videos. I might be a truffle shuffle incident all over again. Guys, please also check out Vanquil40 for some awesome Vanguard content. Some other interesting stuff you might find up here on the left or in the description as well. Thanks for watching.